thank you for your patience. We are here for a regularly scheduled meeting of the Quality and Standards Subcommittee. Tonight is February 23rd. We're beginning the meeting at 6:14, and this is being broadcast thanks to Peabody Access TV as well as on the Zoom platform. So what we're going to do tonight, we will be discussing two of our policies. One is ready for a first reading with the school committee. The other is still a work in progress. And those present this evening are Mr. Olympio, Dr. Vidala, Dr. Lord, Mr. what's your name? Mr. I noticed, and me, Beverly Griffin Dunn. So if we could start first with the memorials. It's file FFB, and the citation is correct. I did check to make sure that was all right. This is what had come back after the discussion at the last school committee meeting with corrections and amendments that were made by members. And generally, the second and third paragraphs are the two that had changes made. So one of the bigger issues in that last paragraph was making sure that the process was one that the school committee wanted. And I think it works, but I need all of you to check it out and see what you think.
No.
I think this looks pretty good. I know we talked about in the full group, and I think we'll be probably speaking more about it in a short while, but I know that last sentence was where the question kind of came. And it does seem like, all right, it starts with presented to the superintendent, and then would be, brought to Quality and Standards just for a discussion, and then after which it comes to the whole board for a vote. It just starts here.
To me, that's pretty clear, the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Dunn.
Yes, thank you.
And it makes it clear that, yes, the whole school committee has a vote on this. And I know that if such a memorial came to the Quality and Standards Subcommittee, the discussion would include looking to make sure that it conformed with everything, which was much of the language in there. But now we took out all of that language. We would do that anyway, and then it does come from the subcommittee to the full committee for their discussion. Mr. Olympio.
Yeah, so Ms. Dunn, what if in a situation, let's say the three of us were discussing, there was a situation and we were discussing it amongst the three of us, and let's just say, would we have to vote to bring it forward to the full committee? What if, like, in other words, let's say there was two of us that didn't want to bring it to the full board, and so it was two to one vote.
Yeah.
But then, would we still carry that forward to the whole committee?
Yes, because you know what, we would do that even with just regular policy.
Okay.
And we have done that in the past.
Okay.
Where the recommendation
Yep.
would come forward of what the in the report,
Okay.
basically.
Yep.
The recommendation is,
Right.
and the vote was 2-1,
Yep.
but then it does open up, it would open up
Okay.
anyway to the school
Yep.
committee.
Good.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So it is less confusing this
Yes.
way.
No, to me,
And
it's
it-
pretty clear.
The way it was written was just what would happen normally, but it's okay.
Yep.
All right, and then the reference in the second paragraph to that other specific policy was taken out.
Yeah.
So, they have to be read separately anyway.
Right. Yeah, no, that's pretty clear as well.
Okay. All right, so if you all, think it's ready to go forward, it is ready in our agenda for first reading.
Yes.
and if the subcommittee believes that it should go forward, then I'll entertain a motion, and we can take a vote.
Sure, I'll make a motion to move this forward.
Okay, motion by Mr. Arnottis,
And I'll second.
second by Mr. Olympio. All right, and I vote yes as well. Okay. All right, so we'll report that out with a favorable
Yep.
decision, and hopefully it will go forward for the first reading. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hello, Mr. Mayor. All right. The second policy, it's still, as I say, it's still a work in progress. This is about classroom and school displays, and honestly, we gave it to Dr. Vidal at the, a few days before vacation, so, which wasn't fair. So I know you were gonna talk to people on the staff, Dr. Vidal, and, feel free to do that and
Yeah.
take some input in this. What we were trying to do was just codify what goes on in a school with materials at the buildings. And then, if we can get some guidance from the teaching staff and the administrators of how that is handled, I think that'll be really good with this policy, just to give everyone a good basis of what we're looking at,
Sure, yeah, I think we need some more time, though, just to get more people involved in the display and classroom display. So I don't know that this is ready to bring to the committee
No.
just yet. I think we keep it at subcommittee and,
Yeah.
let some more people weigh in on this one.
Yeah, it really does need more input, and, even just on some of the words. We need
Yep.
Dr. Lord wordsmithing there. I made that change, though. They put in there praiseworthy. That was a good word. And, again, we'll be putting in the cross-references too, because this policy works in conjunction with a lot of other policies that deal with instructional materials. Everything is related to curriculum, so it all gets right down to that, right into the policies. Okay, so if that's all right with you folks, do you see any changes yet? I couldn't see any at the moment.
No, I think we just need to wait to get some input from the people involved. When it comes to displays and signage, it's a lot more, it can be a lot more complex and
Right.
subjective, so.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Dunn, and I agree with Mr. Olympio, what's been said. I just want to make sure that, this is a sensitive topic, and certainly to many people across the city, and this is something that, I think we owe it to everybody to make sure that we get as much input from people as possible, all different, occupations, different ways of looking at it, that we need to take in all of everyone's opinions and things, and slowly craft the policy and the way we want it to be done. But this is, certainly, this is a sensitive topic for many, so I just want to make sure, as you have been already, Mrs. Dunn, just making sure we do our due diligence, check all our boxes, make sure we're getting input from all sources, and then put together the policy we think best. So I think that's the right decision at this time.
I agree.
Okay. I do think one of the difficult things with this, preparing this one piece of policy, was that first we had to come up with the definition of what we were trying to explain, and you're dealing with a lot of different things about like tradition, or just common practices that people did without it was just in the course of business, people would post things and hang things on the walls, and I think that's where it became difficult to try to formulate just the language, very plain language, to keep it simple so that people could have some guidance on it. It was something I don't think anybody ever really thought of before. So that's one of the differences with this, trying to come up with that type of a policy. but hopefully it will help. We're hoping it's gonna help. Okay, so we've kept it in the agenda, just so people know we're still working on it.
Yeah.
But we won't need to discuss it at
No.
the meeting. Really, we'll just have policy FFB for approval
Yeah.
for first reading. Okay.
And I think we've done a good job really separating what is the memorial, permanent, concrete type of fixture outside of schools
Yeah,
versus, right, the signage and displays. Some people might call signage and displays memorials, and I just think it's a twist on words, but people, I think the public understands now that we have memorials that are outside the schools, that's that's one topic, but the more sensitive and complicated topic of displays and signage in the various schools is something that we're certainly going to take our time and listen to all points of view.
yeah.
So.
I think that's good, that people will understand that.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. One of the other things we were gonna work on, but I knew our meeting needed to be shortened, and that is still the continuing review of the bylaws. And I actually had worked with Mrs. Machiavelli last week, and two of them that seemed really easy, they're very simple. It's the mechanics of me typing it. They're the policy on like our agenda. We're just gonna correct the agenda as it's written. It will now reflect what we currently have. And I thought it would be very simple to cut and paste, and it's not. So that's why it wasn't ready for tonight, and I apologize. But I do think going forward, pulling a few of them at a time, but not putting them through for first reading, what we'll do is we'll present, if it's okay with you guys,
Yeah.
we'll present the changed policies with the adjustments, whatever they are. Most of B is really boilerplate. There won't be too many changes. But if we go through the ones that we change, the school committee's aware of it, and then we will present the full bylaws all together. And Mrs. Machiavelli is going to go through, and they will all be marked, the date of the second reading, so that all of the bylaws will be current after we take that vote. And that whole packet will be right up to date. And that seemed to be the better way to do it, rather than to keep taking
Yeah.
votes on all of the different ones. We'll do a first reading on them, on the whole bylaws after it's done, and then a second reading will be sent. So I think that'll work if you're agreeable
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, that works.
All right, good. Okay. All right, anything else? No. I think we can adjourn.
Yes, we
And have
can.
2 minutes between this
Yes.
meeting and the next one.
All right.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
all right.
There we go.
Okay, second by Andrew, thank you. Okay.
Andrew, you got a second?
Yes.